Stefania PRICEPUTU, Romania. Senia Stankovich, Belarus. Stankovich, 23 years old. This is her second year competing on the senior level. She wrestled in the U23s in the junior worlds, has a junior world bronze medal to her credit. That was back in 2015 for the Belarus wrestler, trying to get a senior level medal in Bucharest against the Romanian. Bronze #2 at 50 kilos.
Sneaking that underhook on that right side, trying to find that right wrist. Referee blows it dead and we're back up to our feet. How about this crowd? When Romanian wrestlers have been on the mat, they have been into it. It's great to see.
It was great to see them pick up a narrow win earlier, too. They've had a number not go their way in the semis. They got one. This place went nuts earlier tonight. PRICEPUTU, somewhat of a surprise. Oh, boy. She nearly got surprised. She did. Clobber down for 4. Stankovich steamrolled her.
Shot at the same time, and it looked like it was a headbutt to the nose.
And they're going to bring out the trainer. Looks like maybe some blood. As a bull rush, both wrestlers came right at one another, and it was Stankovich who surprised the Romanian and took her right to the back and exposed it. So the big 4-pointer executed beautifully by Belarus. Okay. It's always interesting, Eric. We talked about PRICEPUTU. Maybe somewhat of a surprise powering her way into the semifinals, but you always see those wrestlers that fly under the radar a little bit, yet they perform in this spotlight, especially in a situation where you have that extra energy with this crowd in Romania. But that's what makes this sport so fun. You never know.
And there's so many variables that go into wrestling. You talk about weight cutting, and I always look back to a story I was told about one individual's girlfriend breaking up with him before one of his big matches. It's stuff like that that you just don't know, and that goes into other sports as well. But when you add for most of these countries, they're coming to Romania from different parts of the world, and it's the time change, you add the weight cutting, it's so many factors, and PRICEPUTU had the pleasure or the luxury of being in her home country, so she's taking advantage of it here.
And on the board for the first time. Cuts the lead in half. See, that leg is almost spring-loaded. Every time they grab that knee, it automatically kicks right back down.
She went to an underhook there, never shortened her elbow on that underhook. And it was Stankovic who went for the dump, but right as she went for that dump, PRICEPUTU found where her hips were, was able to get that arm out and pick up the quick 2.
Trip opportunity, both wrestlers tied up on the legs. Stankovic up high, has control, it's verified. They go 2. To the dismay of this crowd. I was waiting, I wasn't quite sure if there was control, but they supported it right away in a 6-2 lead.
Looks like Romania is going to challenge.
Romania says, especially not in our house. Can't be quick with a 2 like that. So Romania issues a challenge. We go to the video replay. What do you think, Eric?
I could see this going either way. That right leg is still tucked in, but she's draped over the top on that opposite side. And I could really, out of 100 referees, You can see it going both ways, but I think they're going to wave this off, and Romania is going to win the challenge.
You're right. The white goes up, the white paddleboard. Do you think Romania is going to lose a challenge here in Bucharest? Come on now.
So that'll bring the score back down to 4-2.
Okay.
10 seconds left. How often have we talked about stealing periods? This would be huge if PRICEPUTU could get to a shot and pick up a takedown.
That's it. First period in the books. 4-2. Stankovich with the big move early. PRICEPUTU with some energy late in that first period.
She wasn't happy. Hands to the face, and she looked at Stankovich and said, "What is that?"
Says the makings to be a pretty fun second period in the bronze medal at 50 kilo. We're going to have the gold medal match coming up. It's Ukraine and Bulgaria. The first of 3 Bulgarians coming up wrestling for gold. PRICEPUTU looks confident. Let's see if that confidence carries over into some points against the young Belarusian in Stankovic.
Stankovic has been working on that arm drag to that left side the whole match, but PRICEPUTU hasn't adjusted. So focus on that right hip if you're PRICEPUTU, because that's where Stankovic is going, is to that right hip when she's throwing that arm drag attempt, and they're trying to slide by, reaching around.
Holding firm long enough to get a restart in the center. So if you're PRICEPUTU, you know that Stankovic's coming after that arm. What's the adjustment she needs to make?
Drop down. It's all about timing, and that's what's the difference right now, is she's not adjusting to the timing. If she's able to time it perfectly, she could reach. You don't even really have to drop to a knee. It could just be a snatch high single from that position, because the leg is wide open. There's no defensive arm there.
She was a little bit too far for that shot to be effective. She was reaching, lunging. Has time. No need to get careless with any of these shots. Just a ton of time to go. 4-2 our score. Stankovic with that big move early. That's the difference. And let's keep that in mind if you're PRICEPUTU. A 2 won't get the job done. So she has to be thinking chain wrestling, couple of back-to-backs, if she can't get the 4-pointer herself. This position does her no favors.
Great point. Criteria, I was thinking that. The 4-point throw in that opening period is going to be the difference here if PRICEPUTU is able to somehow get to a takedown.
Stankovic just keeps catching her in that whizzer. Slowly, methodically trying to work into position. Stankovic close to the being out of bounds. Now she turns the corner, gets PRICEPUTU's backside facing the boundary area. Quick swing around by Stankovic, and she gets the 2.
Stay here, stay here. Stay here.
Like that nose popped open.
Okay.
That was crafty.
Looked like PRICEPUTU stopped wrestling.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Stankovic just popped around, and I think she was even shocked there was no resistance. Referee immediately called time. So that plug in the nose popped out, and the blood started pouring. Watch this.
Okay, over here.
Yeah, it had to be the nose that threw PRICEPUTU off, because she paused. And you pause at this level, at this stage, in this moment, it can be the end of you. Nose continues to be a problem, so they're going to stop it again. 6-2 our score. Stankovic with a critical two-pointer a few moments ago. They're going to bring back out the
It's still bleeding.
trainers, and that blood still pouring out.
It's going to take 5 points. Score right now is 6-2, but with that 4-point throw, even 2 takedowns is still not going to be enough for the Romanian wrestler. 43 seconds left. She's only scored 2 points throughout this match, and she's going to have to put 5 on the board in the next 43 seconds. Cannot wait. Has to start working immediately.
Stop. Please.
It's like a corkscrew when the trainer takes that tissue-like material, screws it right up into the nostril to try to plug it, but eventually over time it works its way back down and out, and that's what the issue is right now for PRICEPUTU. Comes in on a shot. Stankovic was waiting for that one. She'll get 2, go up 8-2, and that might be the nail in the coffin right there. Rolls her over, 2 more. 10-2, she's close to ending it early. Squeezing tight around the chest, barreling forward, and the whistle comes in with 20 seconds.
And stay here, stay.
What a defensive effort from Stankovic.
Stay.
Wow.
See the drippings, blood remnants all over, so they're going to clean for a while here. And a bronze medal about to be earned by Ksenia Stankovic. We talked about the 23-year-old competing in her 2nd year at the senior level. Wrestled in the U23, the Junior Worlds throughout her young career, had a bronze medal back in 2015, and now she is 20 seconds away from earning a senior medal
20 seconds.
in Bucharest against a Romanian that had this crowd behind her. Nicely done for Stankovic.
No fingers. Good, no fingers.
Belarus, bronze medal.
Vince la punti STANKEVICH, Belarus.
And the winner is Ksenia Stankovic from Belarus.
Ksenia